I'm going to give a quick demonstration on a little device. This is actually, you have it on a wrist. It's on each wrist, and there's these little, like these, they're cloth covered, and I put a stainless steel metal inch strip in there. And what you do is it's like a denim cloth, and you wet those with a tap water saline solution so they conduct electricity. And they go under the wrist, okay, under the wrist strap. So they're under the wrist strap, and they're connected an alligator clip on each wrist. And they go over each artery on each wrist, right? Now, this device is not well known, but I like the way this person actually did this because, well, it's like this. It's a patent. It was done in August 1992. I talked about this. It was just, the research was done in Albert Einstein College of Medicine, New York City, and it was a patent. It's a granted patent. It's not a patent application. It's actually a U.S. patent, and it was done by Dr. Kaali, K-A-L-Y-L-I, and Dr. Lyman, L-Y-M-A-N. Now, what they did was they discovered a way with microelectricity. It's very low. It's you can see here it says 0.13 milliamps to 0.25 milliamps. That's the range. That's the ideal range that you want to put it in. That's what actually the patent is for. What I like about this thing, so if you switch it on, you can see this little red light flashing. Now you turn it up, and it gets steady. That's right in the middle of the range. You go up too high, it goes off. You're outside the range. That is actually saying that electricity is being conducted wrist to wrist, goes right through your body and only into the blood, because the bone has a much higher resistance to electricity than the skin does. It's actually the blood has much lower resistance to electricity, so it's treating the blood. What it does, this patent does, is it causes pathogens, viruses, fungi, and bacteria not to be able to adhere to new healthy cells, yet it does no damage to the blood or other bodily fluids at all. As a matter of fact, some have hypothesized or stated, that even though this is not in the patent, that it causes white blood cells to actually live longer. That I found interesting. But what I like about this is this light, because you can turn it on, put it right in the middle of the range, and that is the exact patent. Also, you know the electricity is going wrist to wrist, because if I take out one of these things, the light goes off. It's not making electricity. So if I take out this out of the other wrist, now if I hold it in my hand, see, I'm holding the insulator. If I hold this part, it's making conductivity through my skin, through the blood. You don't feel it, and that's what's cool about it. It's very, very low amperage. Very low amperage. So it's safe. Now, what's interesting, the patent was in 1992. Dr. Robert Beck Phd rediscovered the patent. He made this method whereby you could do this. Now, this device is sold somewhere from Ecuador. He's an American guy, but it's sold in Ecuador, and he ships them out. But he's the one that came up with this thing with the light. I like that idea. It's a simple feature, but it's a very good idea. That means you're getting the exact amount of electricity. And since you don't feel it, you know, how do you know there couldn't be a little problem with a break inside the wire someplace by the alligator clip, and you're not actually getting electricity, because you really don't feel anything. So this guarantees that you're getting the right amount of electricity. But in the blood, as far as not the entire body, but that encompasses a large part of the body, because the blood pretty much goes everywhere in the body. It can pretty much take care of most pathogens. It's not quite a cure-all, but it seems to be pretty effective. Now, there's been a number of people experimenting with this. And, you know, in the alternative field of health, this thing seems to be dead on. It has some research going back 20 years. And it has like research from more mainstream type people, like the Albert Einstein College of Medicine in New York City is something more mainstream. But, you know, when they actually set this patent up, originally they had to go do this electricity through a dialysis machine. And it turned out to be something that maybe was just too good for the conventional medicine because it worked. Now the beauty of, like I said, of what Dr. Robert Beck Phd did, being that he was had his doctorate in some type of microelectricity, he designed this simple method. Now I put elastic bands on this. If you're looking at this, reason I did this is because I will take the back off of this, and you actually have like a few batteries in here. I think there's 4 of them in this particular design. And I don't bother taking off the screws. I just use a very heavy elastic band and pull out the batteries. But they last a long time. I've used this. I use it every day for a couple hours. So pretty much gives you some assurance, in my mind anyway, of being 100% pathogen free in your blood. So, and how much does it cost? Once you buy it and you have rechargeable batteries, it doesn't cost you anything. Nothing. It's just a matter of having the discipline to do it every day.